I was at the engagement party with my childhood sweetheart, Jasper, when my foster sister burst into the hall, crying that she'd miscarry without him. She claimed Jasper got drunk, entered the wrong room, and mistook her for me, taking her again and again. Jasper was flustered, and the gentle hand that was on Phoebe's shoulder fell away. Adeline, let me explain. I looked at the champagne roses filling the hall, removed my ring, and clapped. The trash can is out the door on the left. The whole room erupted, and Phoebe bit her lip as tears streamed down her face. The bodyguards quickly came forward to escort her out. They didn't know that after they had plotted to kill my parents, seized the property, and poisoned me, I was reborn. Reborn to the engagement party where none of it had happened yet. Sister, Phoebe screamed and struggled. I didn't mean to. Jasper was drunk and mistook me for you. She spoke, deliberately revealing the ambiguous red marks on her neck. I felt a wave of nausea and my fingertips dug into my palms. A few hours earlier, I'd woken up in the lounge, with my whole being in a daze. The last moments before my death kept replaying in my mind. I was forced to drink poison. My insides felt like they were pierced by 1,000 steel needles. I fell to the ground, seeing Phoebe holding Jasper's arm, looking down on me with a smile. Sister, rest in peace. Phoebe caressed her slightly swollen belly. Jasper and I will take good care of the Anderson family. My vision blurred and finally fixed on the news of my parents' tragic deaths. Anderson Corporation's chairman and wife die in a car crash. Only daughter Adeline suffers a mental breakdown. All these past events made my head spin. The two people I trusted most, my childhood sweetheart and my sister, both betrayed me. Adeline? Adeline. A familiar voice snapped me back to reality, and behind me was my worried mother. Why are you daydreaming before your engagement? My mother adjusted my diamond necklace. The Harris family is all here. I looked at everything familiar in the hall, things I had personally arranged for Jasper. In hindsight, it was truly ironic. The banquet hall was resplendent, and Jasper, in a white suit, was gracefully accepting blessings. A hint of amazement flashed in his eyes. Adeline, you look beautiful today. I looked at the face I used to be infatuated with, feeling a surge in my stomach. Mr. Harris. I subtly avoided his outstretched hand. The MC is calling us. Jasper's expression froze for a moment, then he raised a smile. Adeline, there's no need to be distant. After today, we'll be the closest of people. I secretly smiled. 3, 2, 1. I silently counted down, anticipating the upcoming drama. Sure enough, halfway through the engagement ceremony, the doors to the banquet hall were suddenly flung open. My sister stumbled in, her dress neckline torn half open, and rushed straight to Jasper. Jasper, how could you do this to me? Jasper's face changed drastically, but instinctively he caught Phoebe. Phoebe, what are you? I can't go on. Phoebe screamed hysterically. Sister, Jasper got drunk last night and she deliberately let her strap slide down, revealing more marks. The guest's eyes darted between the three of us, and murmurs filled the room. Mrs. Anderson was the first to lose composure, striding over to Phoebe, her gaze sharp. Didn't you say you twisted your ankle and couldn't attend? Phoebe sobbed, while Jasper comfortingly wiped her tears away. What a pair of lovers. What a display of uncontrollable emotions. It's just a pity, one is my fiancé, and the other is my dear sister. I stood still and suddenly laughed. I slowly walked to the MC's platform and took the microphone from the bewildered MC. Everyone, it seems today's engagement party will have an added show. Adeline. Jasper urgently let go of Phoebe. Let me explain. I was drunk last night and mistook Phoebe for you. Really? I opened my phone, then on the 15th of last month, room 2808 at the Hilton Hotel. Did you mistake someone then too? The large screen suddenly lit up, playing a high-definition video. Jasper was holding Phoebe's waist as they entered the elevator, kissing eagerly, and Phoebe even provocatively made a V sign at the camera. The date was clearly displayed, 23 days ago. No, this can't be. Phoebe screamed and lunged at the control panel, then turned to me. Sister, you misunderstood. It's fake. I easily sidestepped and pressed play on the recording pen pinned to my skirt. Jasper, I don't want you to marry my sister. When will we? Phoebe's voice was sickeningly sweet, and the moans made one's blood boil. Don't worry, she's not as good as you, really a waste of a pretty face. Our Phoebe is better, the kind that can't be detected. The moans rose higher and higher, and the children in the room had already been taken away by their elders when the video started. The faint sounds were abruptly cut off. The room was dead silent. What misunderstanding? That you're calling me sister while climbing into my fiancé's bed? I wanted to laugh out loud. Jasper's face was ashen. Adeline, were you monitoring me? Monitoring? I threw the engagement ring at his face. I was afraid of dying for no reason. I sneered inside. In my past life, they had imprisoned me in a mental hospital, forcing me to listen to this pair of scum flaunt their deeds. Things like I had him before your engagement, or we pick a hotel on the 15th of every month, or even though I promised Jasper to hold back at the engagement party, I just couldn't help it. Or sister, everything you have is inferior to me. I want you to live in my shadow forever. Jasper would only fondly tap Phoebe's nose while laughing at my drug-induced torment. You were impulsive at the engagement party, but fortunately, we convinced Mrs. Anderson to switch people on the spot. Indeed, who cares about alliances in the face of benefits? Honey, luckily it was you. The two shamelessly performed their live show in front of me, and just recalling it made me sick. Trash matches scum. I wish you both an eternal bond. By this time, my mother was already furious, and my father swung his fist at Jasper's head. I gave you face, and you want to sleep with my precious one. Jasper was so frightened by the fierce punch that he instinctively dodged. My father, even angrier, grabbed his collar and punched him again. Tears welled up in my eyes. Not everything is about interests. My parents weren't. It was they who wanted to estrange me from my parents before I died. In my past life, I was enraged by Phoebe's act of snatching my fiancé, and the mocking and ridiculing eyes from so many people. Having always been smooth sailing, I covered my face and went to the bathroom to fix my makeup. My pride wouldn't allow me to want something used, even if this person was my beloved childhood sweetheart. But I fainted in the bathroom and woke up to be told the engagement party was over. The alliance partner was not me. The engagement party, broadcast live, had me mocked to no end. Comments like "Anderson's young lady is nothing special" were unbearable. My mother visited once when I first woke up. Adeline, Jasper is not your soulmate. My conversation with my parents ended with that sentence. Afterwards, there was no word from them. Watching my parents rage and beating Phoebe and Jasper, I suddenly understood. It was their scheme. This time, I didn't play into their hands, didn't beg, didn't plead, and didn't have any ridiculous infatuation. Adeline, trust me once. I really know I'm wrong. Jasper, being beaten, desperately grabbed my hand, his face bruised and swollen, pleading with me. The Harris family also realized what was happening and began to urge me. I knew I was susceptible to this. My usually gentle and elegant parents had their lips tightly pressed. They knew I liked Jasper, liked him dearly. They feared I would soften and plead. I raised my lips and slapped him backhanded. Slap. The crisp sound echoed throughout the banquet hall. Jasper's face turned to the side, and another red mark appeared on his face. Jasper, Mr. Harris, I sneered, shaking off my numb hand. Do you think I'm still as stupid as before? I took out my phone and pulled up the bank statements. In the past 3 months, what you've embezzled from Anderson Corporation. Adeline. Several voices drowned out my next words. Luke Aiden's rebuke, Jasper's interruption, and Phoebe's shame and anger. Luke Aiden was the first to react, slamming the table and questioning, Adeline, are you trying to ruin the cooperation between our two families? I paused for a moment, and Luke Aiden was satisfied with my reaction, bringing all the business pressure onto me. Miss Anderson, Luke Aiden's face was dark, his voice low. It's normal for young people to have conflicts, why be so aggressive? Jasper understood, limping to turn off the screen, then confessing. Adeline, today is our engagement day, I know I'm wrong. Give me another chance. The face Jasper wore made me sick. My mind whirled, my gaze meeting my mother's wink. A childhood signal. Whenever this happened, my father would lose the game. I smiled inside. My parents were supporting me. They wanted to see my performance. They were willing to back me up. I had a plan, and instead of looking at Jasper, I stared directly at Luke Aiden. Uncle Aiden, your son slept with my foster sister, and you call this a little conflict? Jasper limped over to switch off the big screen, then turned to seek forgiveness. Adeline, it's our engagement day. I realized my mistake. Please give me another chance. Jasper's face was truly unpleasant to behold. My mind was racing, and I caught my mother giving me a knowing wink. It was a childhood signal. Every time this happened, my father would inevitably lose the game. I smiled inwardly. My parents were backing me. They wanted me to succeed, and they were ready to support me resolute. I ignored Jasper and addressed Mr. Harris directly. Uncle Harris, your son slept with my foster sister, and you call that a minor disagreement? Mr. Harris's expression grew even darker. Jasper made a mistake any man might make, but the cooperation between Anderson Corporation and the Harris family cannot stop. Does your father know you're causing such a scene today? He was trying to intimidate me. I was well acquainted with Mr. Harris's tactics. In my previous life, he was the one who orchestrated the downfall of the Anderson family, step by step. Uncle Harris, I put on an innocent facade. I just want some fairness. Fairness? Mr. Harris sneered, turning to my father, whose clothes were slightly rumpled. Mr. Anderson, don't forget, the project in the west of the city is still under my control. He left the sentence unfinished, but I understood, as did everyone present. IT was my father's most crucial project recently, with a significant part of Anderson Corporation's funds invested. And also, last month's loan, the approval material seemed to have some issues. My heart sank heavily. The Harris family had started laying the groundwork this early. Mr. Harris, seeing his point made, signaled for Jasper to approach and take my hand. Get away. Uncle Harris, are you threatening me? Adeline, you don't. Jasper protested. Huh. My mother, who had been silent, chuckled and clapped. What a show, truly a farce. Adeline, come to your mother. I smiled and lifted my dress as I headed toward my mom. My mother was a strong woman, with a sharp eye, and she naturally saw through the Harris family's intentions. She never thought much of Jasper's weak methods, and this time it was beyond her expectations. Mr. Harris, are you threatening the Anderson and Ean families? My mother was from the Ean family, a clan that had remained hidden from the world, and today they sent her to congratulate her granddaughter's wedding. Since she married my father, she had never suffered such humiliation. She elegantly curved her lips, her eyes filled with coldness.